Live from Austin, Texas, with host Rosie Newberry. Local trends, shopping, and more. This is Studio 512.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for Studio 512 today. Most of us have some basics sitting in the closet, something like a white tee. It can feel a little boring, but personal stylist and image consultant Raquel Greer-Gordian excels at putting fresh ideas together with pieces you already own, things you wouldn't have thought to put together on your own. All right, she's here with clothes from my own closet, actually, with some suggestions this morning. Raquel, good morning to you.
Good morning, Rosie. I'm
Lovely.
so excited to be here.
Excited to have you. Okay, how do you approach new ideas for something like a basic piece?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's really my job for people to feel inspired, people to get in touch with their creativity. So when I go into somebody's wardrobe and I'm focusing on a basic piece, I'm also focusing on the interesting pieces in their wardrobe. So that would be different textures, different colors, new trendy items to really liven that up and make it feel inspired so they feel excited to wear it every day.
Yeah, because sometimes you walk into your closet and you're like, the same old stuff again.
Yes.
But maybe if they were put together in a new way, you would feel a little bit more excited about it. And I will say it's like Clueless. She takes pictures of all the things that she puts together for you so you can shop your closet on your own phone, which is amazing. So first we're going to start with neutrals because we are doing a basic white tee today.
Yes, and sometimes you do want to be, wear neutrals. Sometimes, people, that is just their style to focus more on neutrals, but there is a way to really make it interesting. So one way that you can do that is by mixing. So we've got a black short. So it's easy with a white tee to think, oh, I want to do a blue denim short, but black makes it a little bit more kind of city feel, a little bit more chic, a little bit more interesting. And then what you want to do with the black to make it interesting but keep it neutral is add brown in. So adding a brown belt. And then of course, Western is huge right now. And we're in Texas, so Western is always in.
Always going to be in.
Yes, so adding a bootie, you could do a tall boot if you like more of a classic Western style, but also you could do a short brown boot. And then linking the belt to the boot is going to make it feel put together, while adding the black with the brown is also going to make it fresh and interesting.
Really interesting stuff there. And you've got a little handkerchief that too is always in Texas.
Yes. Now, if you want to add a little bit of pop of color with the black and the white, you can add just a handkerchief. So you'll see these all the time in red and pink. I mean, you can really get it in any color, your favorite color. And then with this one, you have some little black throughout. So what you can do with something
brown
like this.
too.
Yes. So you could pop a brown boot. You could pop a black boot. You could pull some of the color if you had a cowboy boot that had some of that in it. Or you could do a basic white sneaker too if you're just bopping around and you need something really comfortable.
Well, something I did leave at home and I need to apologize for is that I have like an ivory coat. So it's not white.
Yes.
So the thing that I was really confused by when you said bring that ivory coat, and I just accidentally left it at home. Sorry, everybody. But that you could do those two things, cream and white together, because usually I think it's one or the other.
Yes, absolutely. So you can do that too. Again, if you're doing a whole neutral look, really adding in layered pieces of neutral will make it look thoughtful, and it's very clear that that's what you're doing. You're doing neutral. And yeah, having cream with white can make it a little bit more textured, a little bit more nuanced, a little bit more interesting.
Okay. I mean, genuinely, that does sound interesting to me. You have an option for dressing up a white tee, the high-low look, which is always something that's fun to play with.
Yeah, so this is perfect for going out to dinner. So yeah, you could do a midi, you could do a mini, you can do a maxi skirt with this. And you can see like...
This big chunky necklace is a ton of fun, girl.
Yes.
That is really fun.
Adding a statement necklace like this is going to dress it up. So putting it right over the white tee, and you can do it like a collar, so you can do it right along the top, or it can hang a little bit lower. Either way, you've kind of got that focus up top, and you can see this dresses up a little bit more. And then with the skirt, I would go ahead and tuck it in with that, and then you can add some heels. So we've got these little platform sandals.
I got these from Amazon, y'all. These are like $25, and let me tell you what, they're crazy comfortable.
Yes.
Cam Sue. It was a couple years ago, but they are super comfortable, and I would suggest a pair. I've seen them in a couple colors.
Yes, no, something like this would be perfect. And the platform always makes them a little bit more comfortable too than regular heels too. So that would be ideal for a night out on the town.
Okay, here we're doing the Texan tuxedo, the denim on denim, and right now it's back in.
Yes, I love denim on denim. And in this look, because we want to feature the white tee, we would go ahead and do the chambray jacket just open. You would feature the white tee, and this one with the little daisies on it is perfect because you can kind of link those into the white tee. And then just denim on bottom. Now, a question that I get a lot is, do the denims need to match?
Yes.
No, they do not, but it's good in this case to do like two lighter denims because you can see kind of that bright white that's strewn through the denim. It plays into the t-shirt, so it really pops that white. And then on bottom for this, I might do a sneaker, I might do a boot.
Yeah.
Both of those would really be options depending on what your style
Sounds
is.
super cute. And I want to let everybody know of all the stuff that Raquel's playing around with right now. The fanciest item so far has been J. Crew. The rest of this is American Eagle, Old Navy, like that. That's where I shop for my like weekend attire.
Love it.
So nothing is going to break the bank here so far. This is an Old Navy from a while ago. This is a fun idea to put white over a dress, which I had not thought of.
Yes, you could absolutely do that. So what I would recommend, so you could do this with a slip dress, you could do it with a fit and flare. You could see this has kind of a distinct waist on it. So what I might do for this is do a little trick of tying it up on the side so the t-shirt still stays on your waist, so you get that nice line from the dress.
I could do this for the 4th of July, I tell you what.
Yes, absolutely. And then if you want to do kind of a fun summer necklace, you could do something longer. You could also layer up some gold pieces like I have here, which is so trendy right now, to kind of bring a little bit of lightness in the look. And then for the shoe for that, again, you could do any of these. You could do a cowboy boot, you could do a sneaker, you could do a little platform sandal. Any of those, depending on how dressy or how casual you want to go, would really work for this look.
Okay, in our last 30 seconds, fun and flirty for summertime.
Yes.
This is actually a skirt you handed down to me.
I do love this skirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, this would be perfect. You just add this on, add the tee over the top. And then for something like this, I feel like because it's already so bubbly, adding the white sneaker would be my preference for this. And then I just think the gold chains would be perfect. Again, it's bright, it's bubbly, and yeah, perfect for the season.
And it's all stuff I already owned, y'all. So, okay, some really fun ideas today. Raquel, thank you so much.
Thank you, Rosie.
All right, follow along with Raquel and DM her on Instagram for information on her client services, which she is offering again at Raquel Greer-Gordian. And make sure to check out her website, GreerImageConsulting.com. Following portion of Studio 512 is sponsored by Rosedale Acupuncture and Wellness. Are you looking for a roadmap to help treat your complex chronic conditions? Rosedale Acupuncture and Wellness wants to help. Dr. Lucas Brown is here to tell us more. Dr. Brown, what if people come in the door and really they've got more than one thing going on?
Oh, definitely. We call those our hot mess. And that's a medical term. You know, I'm not disparaging anyone. Let's say, you know, you have to run errands, okay? And you have 3 destinations you want to go to, and you put it in your phone, you know? So I don't care if it's Apple Maps, Google Maps, or Waze, you know, they're not going to tell you to go to all 3 destinations at the same time. But certain places you're going to get to faster, and also certain places, if you go to, are going to bring you closer to the other destination.
We're actually going to talk about one of your patients named Ernie. He came to you with chronic back pain, sciatica, and peripheral neuropathy. Yeah. And you said that that's a combo that you see come together pretty often.
So yeah, Ernie's a perfect example of someone that came in with 3 like pretty severe conditions. And we decided to get, you know, one destination first, and we tackled the low back pain. So we were able to tackle the low back pain, the sciatica, and see improvement in the neuropathy before we even focused exclusively on the neuropathy.
That's incredible. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's go ahead and take a listen to Ernie.
I had lost feeling in my feet. That is, specifically, I could not feel cold very well. I couldn't feel heat. I couldn't feel the pricking when something was pricking my foot. Maybe after a month and a half of treatments, it was remarkable that I could actually feel the cold. I could feel the warmth, the heat. I could feel the pricking and other, tests that were used. And I was really amazed. As a matter of fact, on the right foot, I believe this was 74% improvement. I would say certainly visit with Dr. Brown, visit with staff. Give it a chance, because really there's some benefits that can be derived from it.
Okay, so what if, Dr. Brown, someone wants to go to opposite ends of town? We're going to really work with this travel metaphor here.
Yeah.
The consultation is really where the roadmap takes shape for each patient.
So absolutely. So, I definitely, every time I meet a patient, I have an idea of what I can do for them. But what's really important is what they want for themselves. And for our patients, landmarks are really quality of life things. Being able to walk 3 miles, being able to play with your grandkids, walk up and down stairs equally. Those kind of things are like the landmarks we expect, the wins we celebrate on the way to treatment. It all starts the conversation.
Sounds good to me.
Great.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
If you feel your road to recovery has hit a dead end, call 512-623-1996 now. The preceding portion of Studio 512 was sponsored by Rosedale Acupuncture and Wellness. Welcome back, everybody. There are so many new spots popping up in Austin, you may be overwhelmed for choice. Food journalist Ali Khan of Ali Khan Eats joins us once again with his Best Bites series to talk about some of his great finds and possible rediscoveries in the last month. And we always adore his presence. Ali, good morning.
Oh my God, it's so great to be here.
Yes, of course it is, and we're always happy to have you. Cambodian food, not normally the first thing we talk about.
No,
in fact,
I mean,
I don't know that you could put me in a corner and say, is this Cambodian food? I don't know that I could recognize it.
Totally. And you know what? Like, my experience with it is arguably almost as limited, but I did have a great one very recently. So, it is AAPI month too. So what a great reason to bring this one up. So first and foremost, it's all about Chanda Mao, who's this wonderful person. I discovered her on Instagram. She does these pop-ups.
Feed me right, Mao.
I know, feed me right, Mao. And there she is. She's just so awesome. And she, she's chirping away. She's like, come to my pop-up. I went. So Cambodian food is, a country that is in Southeast Asia. You're going to get those influences. So the big influences are going to be some of those flavors, like the curry spices from India, some of that kind of like umami, the funky stuff from like Thailand. Sure. And then obviously China's a rather large influence in Asian food in general, right? So she just, look, very limited. We just did this little pop-up. She did these great little meat skewers. I think every country in the world does some sort of kebab. These are those tiny little skewers, flank steak, just grilled over charcoal. What Texan wouldn't love that? But I'll tell you, the boneless, she takes a chicken wing, she debones it, and then she stuffs it with like a pork sausage with like, garlic and onions and minty herbs and stuff. Now, I had one of these at Izakaya in Tokyo, and I was like, this is freaking amazing. And then she makes them. I'm very, very stoked. Don't know a lot about Cambodian food, but I know this. Chanda is awesome. And those wings, dude, oh my God.
Awesome.
Trust me.
Cool. I'm learning something today. Yeah. Feed me right, Mao. Okay.
Feed me right, Mao.
We are going to talk burgers. Burgers is a typical topic for us. You are a Burger King.
I can't get away from them. Every time I do these, I'm like, ugh, am I a one-trick pony?
You are not. You're so important that, in fact, our next guest is going to talk about you being a burger judge.
That's
coming
true.
Up soon.
Look, I like burgers. We all love burgers. So Jabs is a new spot. They're at Fairground. It's the same team that did Shawarma Point. Okay?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Which is also at Fairground too. What I love about this smash burger is that it is, first of all, these guys spent 37 versions to get their secret sauce right.
Wow.
They use Creekstone Farms, which is a premium beef. I think that's the brisket you'll find at Franklin Barbecue. And the burger, a double's $10. A double is $10.
This is him going back to Cheap Eats.
This is Cheap Eats stuff here. In 2025, you want lettuce and tomato, that's another $1. A triple's $13.
13. you'd be real full for $13.
Yes.
And I love the jalapenos that I'm seeing. So
Oh,
it sounds
yeah,
like,
yeah,
okay,
it's a
the burger
local.
place is
Yeah.
a good place. All
Yeah.
right. Okay. Another one that tends to come up, pizza.
Okay, so check this out. So I like the meats. My son loves the carbs, you know? So I was at this event at a brewery at Austin Beer Works, and there was a pizza spot there. It's called Obsidian. Now, I know sometimes some of the viewers are kind of farther out, not just in downtown-y Austin or whatever.
yeah.
So Obsidian's actually a brewery in Leander
Okay.
that also makes pizza. Here's a little rule of
I
thumb.
like the look of that pizza.
If you can make beer, you can make bread. And if you can make bread, you can make some good pizza. These pizzas are like 12 inch, it's thick enough, $15. He loves it. And it's one of those pies where it's like 2 slices feels like 3.
Uh-huh.
So it's actually got some good value, because these days, I tell you, pizza, you want to talk about cheap eats, it ain't pizza anymore in Austin.
Yeah.
But I like this one. It's a solid pie. And you know what? For me, a great pizza is, I want to eat the crust. I get a nice salt to it too. It's got a great undercarriage. It's just really wood fired up. I sound like Portnoy right now. Yeah. No flop. I don't know about the no flop thing, but it's a solid pie, and I can literally buy it. It'll feed my kid for 2 meals.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so if you are talking about cheap eats, once you start dividing that back up,
Yeah.
yes,
Not bad.
all right. I just have to say, are you truly though a thin crust fan? Like at the bottom of your heart, being a St. Louis man?
I mean, okay, I do like a thin crust pie, but I'm also the first person to throw Emos under a bus. We may have to have a... Oh, yeah.
No!
I know. trust
Emos
me.
is my favorite.
I have
vegetable.
set people off. Of all the blog posts I've ever done on Ollie Kind of Eats, I got 50 plus comments. I never get comments. I got 55 comments when I trashed Emos in a loving way. Sorry, St. Louis. You have great food. It's just not Emos. I feel that way about Whataburger.
I feel the exact opposite about Emos. I love it, and the thing is, feeding like your son multiple meals. I could eat Emos because it's a cracker thin crust.
Yeah.
In one sitting. So to
it's
be fair,
insane.
you've got some point there.
Yeah.
All right, last minute left.
Yes.
Barbecue, hit me up.
Okay, brand new barbecue spot, Parish Barbecue. I feel like I'm under the gun. It's over by Batch. Holden Folco. He worked at Franklin. He worked at Interstellar. But here's the thing: he's from Louisiana, so he's bringing a new spin here.
Cajun
okay,
spices.
yeah. So it's not so much in the rub, but it's in. He does duck. He does a smoked ham. He's doing a muffaletta. But this is the craziest thing. He is the only barbecue guy I have met in Texas who uses hickory. And I'm telling you, it's different. The ribs hit different. The brisket hits different. And he does, it's just a really, I think for me, a very interesting, exciting chapter that you have someone doing some elements of craft Texas barbecue, but using that hickory.
Yeah.
It's different.
And
it's
duck,
different.
too. Ooh, okay.
Oh,
I'm
man.
gonna have to check that out.
Dude, yeah, he's got some stuff going
Okay.
on.
Sounds
Yeah.
cool. All right. Per usual, I have learned a lot during our conversation. Allie, thank you so much.
Always a pleasure.
All right,
Always a
guys,
pleasure.
tune in next month to learn more about Allie's picks and keep up with his blog. And you know what? I'm also going to say his Instagram, where you can learn more about his World's Greatest Dad podcast, because I've been getting a lot of joy out of that. Anyway, his website is allieconeats.com. The following portion of Studio 512 is sponsored by Austin Symphony Orchestra. As the weather warms up, we are ready for summertime. And by that, we mean the music of Porgy and Bess by George Gershwin and Carlos Simon's Amen, as performed by Austin Symphony Orchestra. Music director and conductor Peter Bay is here in the flesh to tell us more about it. We're happy to have him. Peter, first of all, let's talk about your upcoming concert on May 16th and 17th.
Thank you, Rosie. Good to see you. This is the end of our Masterwork series, and it's an all-American affair. We start with the piece you mentioned, Amen, by Carlos Simon, who is a living young composer. He's the composer in residence of the National Symphony in Washington, D.C.
Wow.
And is commissioned by many, many orchestras around the country. Then the major work on the program is by George Gershwin, and it's a 75-minute version of his 3-hour opera, Porgy and Bess. And the song Summertime, Bess, You Is My Woman Now, It Ain't Necessarily So. All of those will be heard in this version that we're going to perform. We have a fabulous cast, a chorus, and of course the full orchestra.
When I hear opera, French. Italian. Is this done in English?
This is English. In
Okay.
fact, it's a kind of a dialect of Gullah English from South Carolina. It's an opera, but it's by Gershwin, so a lot of people didn't take it seriously when it was first performed. In fact, it didn't play in an opera house. I think it played in a Broadway house.
Wow.
Because it's like a Broadway show in a way, because the tunes are popular, but it's to be sung by operatically trained singers. So when we have a cast who really know how to sing this music.
And then we just want to brag a little bit more on Carlos as well, if we can. The fact that he is a young, living composer, wonderful to use such active talent.
Well, you know, I think the symphony, we believe that at one time Mozart, Beethoven, Brahms, they were all living composers. And had their music not been played while they were alive, who knows where they would have been. So we feel it's really important to feature composers who are still living. And Carlos is such a good composer. As I mentioned earlier, he's being commissioned by so many orchestras around the country, even across the pond. He's getting played in Europe as well.
It runs 2 nights, May 16th and 17th.
Right, 8 p.m.
8 p.m.
at the Long Center.
And are tickets still available?
There are tickets. You can get them at austinsymphony.org, or if you want, you can come right to the Long Center on the concert nights and pick them up at the box office. You can buy some there. We have a pre-concert talk that starts at 7:10 that will prep the audience or whoever wants to come about the program.
Popular music. I'm pretty impressed. Thank you so much, Peter, as always, for your time. And hey, break a leg.
Thank you, Rosie.
Get tickets now at austinsymphony.org. The preceding portion of Studio 512 was sponsored by Austin Symphony Orchestra. Welcome back. Looking to get away and escape Austin's rapid onset heat that happened all of a sudden? Austin Monthly just published an A to Z guide on places to go this summer, and editor-in-chief Madeline Hollern is here to tell us more. Lovely to have a friend in the studio. Madeline, good morning.
Great to see you.
Talk to us about this guide and kind of about the process of creating it.
Well, apparently it's already summer. It's already 100 degrees, so
we skipped right into it.
Yeah. Well, every year we do some sort of summer travel guide, and I was really inspired by Yvette here on the cover, who is the Austin tourist on social media. She's got 500,000 followers.
Good for her.
So a lot of the things she was posting about, including cow cuddling, which we'll talk about, sort of inspired this A to Z guide.
Okay, I love that. So cow cuddling is the front cover. Tell us a little bit more about what she does.
It's exactly what it sounds like. You can go to a place called Calvary Farms and cuddle with cows.
Aww.
And you know,
they look really sweet on
right?
the cover.
Yeah, so this cow is named Charlie, and then the one in the issue is a longhorn named Reba. And
you can cuddle a longhorn?
Yes, and here's something I should have known as a UT graduate. Longhorns can be male and female. So this is a female.
I'm learning.
I did not know that.
I didn't know that either.
My mind was blown.
Until just now.
So you can go to this place and literally cuddle cows. You can cuddle donkeys, alpacas, and it's wonderful. You know, it lowers your stress and cortisol. It's just, to pet an animal and cuddle with an animal is so good for you.
Well, and I think so few of us grew up around donkeys.
Of course,
you know what I mean? It's a way to get to know the animals that fill our landscape. Look at that.
Look at this. Yeah.
That's amazing. Okay, so cow cuddling is letter C
C.
in the A to Z guide. Okay, the next one is E for Europe.
Right. So, for those who are not jet setting to Europe this summer, we did what we called Euro trip. So this is all the European inspired spots across Texas. So of course we had to start with Paris, Texas.
Okay.
You ever been there?
I have not been to Paris. I have heard of it.
I have not either, but they have a 65-foot Eiffel Tower with a red cowboy hat at the top. So this is a bucket list item for sure. We've also got Stonehenge too.
Okay.
Which
didn't even know that existed.
Yeah. So again, it's if you can't make it, across the pond this summer, you can travel Texas. In addition, we have Athens. Now, apparently, this is where the first hamburger was ever served.
No.
Again, I'm like, that had to have been in Europe, right?
Yeah.
But apparently it was there in the 1880s, and then the guy presented it at the World's Fair in 1904. There was a lot of good like history lessons in here. That's a good
Fascinating.
trivia, which I love.
Oh, and don't get me started on World's Fair in 1904. I think it was St. Louis, which is the second time I've talked about it today. But that's where like iced tea comes from. Ice cream cones came from. Like
Isn't
a
it
crazy
amazing?
number of things that are our everyday like stuff now came from the early 1900s.
Totally. And then, of course, we cap it off with Dublin, the Irish capital of Texas. I'm very, very much an Irish descendant.
Irish
Yes,
lass.
I'm very, very pale, yes, in the Irish way. But yeah, they have the world's oldest Dr. Pepper bottling plant there and
That's
like
right.
award-winning cheeses. And of course, they have an epic St. Patty's Day celebration there. So a fun spot to
Amazing.
go.
Okay, yeah. How about H
Yes.
for Hang 10?
Hang 10, yeah. So Waco Surf. For those who love surfing or for those who've never even tried surfing, you can go there. They have this pneumatic tech system where they can just push a button and you can have a big wave or a small wave or a Raleigh wave.
This looks like this guy is in Malibu,
Right?
right?
What's really fun about it is they said for anyone who's old enough to swim well, you can do it. So if your 6-year-old kid knows how to swim, they can go surfing.
And you don't have to worry about sharks off the coast
You don't
of
have to worry
California
about
or
sharks.
Hawaii or whatever it
Yes.
is. Okay, a good place to learn.
Well, and another thing I like about it, if you're more into chilled and throw like me, they have one of the world's longest lazy rivers.
You and me
So
both, girl.
That's
You
my
and me
kind of
both.
vacation where you just do nothing and love every second of it.
That sounds awesome. Okay, P for Parton, our queen, Dolly Parton,
Yes, Dolly
has
Parton.
a resort in Texas.
Yes, well, there's a spot in Green, Texas called Eight Sages, and they
That's
have
not far.
It's not far at all, and they have a Dolly specific place that you can say it's like a farmhouse, and
How
it's
cute.
pink and white, and it's got Dolly Parton stuff, and then it's got your own private plunge pool and fire pit. So just like a perfect little getaway.
That's
to,
a bachelorette
celebrate
weekend.
Queen Dolly.
I
Yeah.
love that. Or just a good excuse to
Or
get your
just
girls.
get out of town. Yeah.
Okay, T for terminal. We're actually talking about the airport here.
We're talking about the airport. So as I was researching this issue, I chatted with the airport and they said that they were built to have 15 million passengers a year, and last year they had more than 21 million.
Whoa.
So anyone who's traveled at the airport recently can attest that it is bursting at the seams. So they've got all kinds of growth happening. Within the next 5 years, they're gonna have a new concourse with 20 new gates, new taxiways, a new like arrivals and departures hall. They're gonna have way more space for passengers and for screening. So it's just going to get a lot better there.
It is.
And they've already got 80 direct flights, and they're going to continue to have more. They say they may even have a direct flight to Asia coming sooner or later, but it's like in the pipeline. So this is one of the upsides of Austin getting so big. You know, we're really an international destination now.
Those flights keep getting added.
Yes.
Exactly. So we work with Austin Bergstrom International Airport, and we were just doing a couple segments there that you guys might see here on Studio 512 Beats, Bites, and Flights. Basically, they want you to show up early to the airport before your flight because there are a lot of fun things to do now.
Totally,
at the
right.
airport. So really cool stuff there, and I did hear a little jackhammering in the distance. So it's a part in our progress for a minute.
Yeah.
But things are going to get better for sure. Okay, real quickly, you have the Burger Bash coming up, and I just wanted to mention it because we were talking about it with Allie.
Of course, yes, we have Burger Bash coming up June 14th, where you can try more than 20 burgers from across the city. These are absolutely the best burgers in Austin. We'll have French fries, we'll have ice cream, we'll have beer. Central Machine Works, Ali Khan, none other, is going to be one of our celebrity judges.
And he knows a burger, y'all. Okay.
He knows a burger for sure.
But a lot of good eats for everybody else too. Madeline, thank you so much. All right, guys, keep up with all of their latest articles online. Head to austinmonthly.com to learn more. Welcome back, everybody. Blue Genie Art Bazaar's May Market is going on right now, and today we're featuring one of the local vendors that you can find there, and we're especially excited to honor her during AAPI month. Mimi Sonata creates beautiful, dainty hand-folded jewelry, y'all. It's amazing. And today she's joining us to tell us more about her brand called Mimi's Origamis. Mimi, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you.
I'm so happy you're here because actually your husband was behind the scenes here for another segment with Austin Water, and he was like, by the way, my wife makes beautiful jewelry. We were like, we've got to have her on the show.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we're happy to have you. Let's talk about what inspired you to start getting into jewelry.
Well, origami was always a part of my childhood. I have parents who immigrated from Japan, and so origami was always a way for me to stay connected to my Japanese culture. And so when I was teaching my own son how to fold a crane, I was wondering, how can I make this wearable? And so jewelry was kind of where I landed.
Oh, it's amazing. And so cranes feature heavily. We're going to talk about that a little bit more in just a second. But let's talk about this being your second Blue Genie Art Bazaar May showing. How has it been so far, and what can we see on offer as a vendor there?
Well, Blue Genie Art Bazaar has been wonderful. It's such a wonderful way to showcase so many vendors. Really creative artists. And so what I have at Blue Genie are my best sellers. You can find a variety of my best-selling crane collection.
Oh my gosh, they're so beautiful.
As well as hairpins, butterfly hairpins. I have more leaf, and these are fun geo-threaders.
Geo-threaders.
Yes,
very
you can
cool.
Thread them through your
And they're
ears.
like puffy. It's so neat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then I also have my rings, and what's interesting about my rings is that I use the scrap paper from my earrings to make the rings.
Okay, and guys, she says she works with a single inch of paper to make these It blows my mind. And then just in case anybody's wondering about those bubbles that they're seeing.
Yes, these are magnets, so you can put them anywhere. Yeah.
Oh, it's really cool. Okay, you did promise me that you were going to demo a crane for me today. I did tell you I don't know much, but I'm just going to follow your handiwork. So whenever you want to go.
Sure. We're going to start with doing a triangle.
Okay. And I know it's important in origami to like make sure everything is perfectly folded.
Yes, you want to make sure all the sides are aligned and that all the points match up.
Okay, I'm doing my best over here.
Yes.
It's not going to be perfect, y'all.
That's great. You're doing great. And then you're going to do another triangle. So you're going to
Okay.
take the bottom end and then fold it up top. So you have an even smaller triangle.
Lovely. Our producer Gracie says she's made about 1,000 cranes before because her friend had them at her wedding. I was like, you should be doing this.
And then you're going to open up one side. You're going to have one point sticking up.
I do.
And you're going to put one finger all the way to the back here.
Okay.
And you're going to take this tip and fold it down.
I've seen this move before.
Yes, so then you have a square, and you're going to kind of pinch down, and then you're going to flip it over, do the same thing.
Okay.
You're going to have this point up,
Uh-huh.
and you're going to slide your finger all the way to the back here.
You're a good teacher.
Thank you. And then you're going to push this down. So now you have another square.
So now you've got like this diamond sort of shape.
Exactly.
Yes, okay.
And you're going to take the very top layer, just this top here, and you're going to fold it up so you have
Okay.
a little triangle.
The one thing I can do, I told you off camera, is fold a dollar bill into a heart. Maybe I'll do that for social media
If you can
later.
do that, that's amazing. And you're going to take this side and you're going to line up in the middle. So you're going to fold it so you can see the paper. And you're going to be really careful to make sure that the edge is nice and straight here.
Okay, got it.
Perfect. And you're going to do the same to the other side.
All right, this is where, y'all, I'm already seeing that my folds are not perfect.
And you flip it over and do the same to the other side.
Okay, folding inwards, huh?
Now you're going to lift it up
Oh.
first.
Lift it up. Sorry
Yes.
about that.
It really doesn't matter. You could do it either way.
Did your son take to origami the same way you did?
Yes, and what's interesting is that he recently had a school project where he had to fold 500
Whoa.
cranes for his project. It was a lesson teaching about grit and perseverance.
So you
yes.
didn't help.
So I did not help at all. So I watched
Even though
him.
you could have.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we're going to open this up,
Okay.
and we're going to lift this. It's kind of like a pocket.
Okay, yeah. Ooh,
Yes.
cool, like a pocket.
Yes, and then we're going to fold. You see the fold that we just did. We're going to fold those back in.
All right.
And then we're going to pinch, and we're going to like lay this back.
Oh, this is maybe where I'm starting to get
This
lost.
is the most challenging part. I would
Okay, all right.
say.
Thank you for saying that.
Yes.
And while we're doing the pinching and folding, will you talk to me a little bit about, the crane and its meaning. I have the word suru.
Suru, yes.
Okay.
Suru.
Roll the R. Suru.
Suru is crane in Japanese, and it's a very symbolic bird in Japanese culture. It represents peace and hope and prosperity.
I've lost you on this part.
Oh, yes.
She'll just do it
Just
for
gonna-
me.
there we
Gosh,
go.
Yeah. I'm bringing it.
You gotta lay it flat.
This is how you get yourselves a good teacher, y'all.
There you go.
Lay it
Just
out flat.
Fold it nice, and then we're gonna flip it over and do the same to the other side.
Okay. Pocket.
Pocket.
And
yes.
then,
fold it in,
yeah. And
and then lay it down.
lay it down. Okay.
Yes,
All right.
there we
Now I'm
go.
following. At the end of 7 minutes, I will have completed a crane, I'm hoping.
Yes. And then we're gonna fold these in, kind of similar to the step we did before.
Sure.
We're gonna fold the outer edge to the center here,
Mm-hmm.
and do the same to the other side.
And what do cranes represent?
They represent peace and hope and good fortune, prosperity. It's a very, very culturally significant bird in Japanese culture. And often it's, given as a gift of thanks. It's also gifted as a way of healing. So a lot of people know are familiar with the 1,000 paper crane bundle. So if someone's in the hospital, it's like a little gift of well wishes.
Oh, I like
Yes.
that a lot.
Yes.
And you have like a mother and child. I think I can see it here
Yes,
in this
this
earring.
was my very, very first design. It represents
So
the mother and
sweet.
child, and yeah.
Yeah, you and your son.
Yes.
How precious. Okay.
This is the last step. We're
Last
gonna
step.
open this up.
Okay.
We're going to
Okay, I'm opening
this
up.
way, yes, and we're going to lift it up like this,
Uh-huh.
and then we're going to close it. So we're going to close it, crease it in the middle here, and close it.
She's going to show me later. I'm just going to let you do it. Okay. Open it up and close
And
it.
then you're going to close it, and you're going to crease it in the middle here. And then the last step is picking which side is going to be the head. So I'll just say this side. I'm going to pinch it down. And there is our crane.
I bet you could do that with your eyes closed.
You can
I mean,
open it up if you'd like.
look at it. That's so cool, Mimi. I love it. All right. You've got a couple places in town where your work is on display.
Yes.
But just real quickly before we let you go, can you tell us what's new and exciting? You're going to be in more places.
Yes, I have joined the Museum Store Association, so I'll be in even more museum gift shops. I'm already in the Blanton Museum, so that's one special place that
Very
I love being a part of.
And I think it's huge congratulations because this is a super cool
Thank you. I
business.
appreciate it.
Thank you, Mimi. All right, I'm learning, y'all. I'm learning. I'm going to finish on social media. The Blue Genie Art Bazaar is going on now through June 1st. You can find Mimi there, or you can shop online right now by heading to mimisorigami's.com. Content segments during Studio 512 were paid for by Rosedale Acupuncture and Wellness, Austin Symphony Orchestra, and ZipRecruiter.